Let's talk about solving equations that have variables on both sides of the equal sign today. So as I look at a problem like this first one that I have right here, if I zoom in just a little bit more, um, you're trying to get or isolate your variable, but what happens if you have variables on both sides? Well, what you're going to need to do is this. You're going to essentially just take your variables and move them all to one side. It doesn't make a difference if you move it to the left or to the right. And then when you're done with that, you're then going to move your constants, so those numbers that aren't with variables, and move those to the opposite side. Okay, so as I look at this, here are my variables, negative 2p and 7p, and then my constants, 3 and 4. So we're going to move my variables to one side. Now in general, what people most times do is they move the variables to the side that has the larger coefficient. So 7 is larger than negative 2, so I'm going to move it to the right. So I'll just simply add 2p. So get 3 equals, because those cancel, 9p plus 4. And then I'm going to move my constants to the other side. So the p's on the right, so I'm going to move this way. So I get negative 1 equals 9p. And then I'm just going to divide by 9. So I get negative 1/9 equals p. And I'm done, just like that. So moving my variables to one side and constants to the other, and then just solve. Now it's not always that easy if you have a problem like this. Now there's a lot of variables. There's this 4n, there's an n in here, and an n there. So what we need to do, and this is something I've said in other videos, is we're going to simplify first before we do anything. So let's do that. So the left side just stays the same, and here I can distribute. So I'll get 2n plus 2 plus distribute 3n minus 3. Now I can do more. I can combine 2n and 3n. So I'll do that. I'll get 5n. And I can combine 2 and negative 3. 2 and negative 3 combine to be negative 1. And so now, even though my variable, the coefficient of this variable is bigger than this one, I'm actually going to move my variables to this side. And hopefully that makes sense, because we only have one constant in the problem. It's already on the right. So why don't we just leave it there, and let's subtract 5n. So that'll give me negative n equals negative 1. But that's not n, that's negative n. So remember, that's a negative 1 in front. So let's just divide both sides by a negative 1. I get n equals 1, just like that. Okay, let's do one more. This will be a good one where you should try it on your own, see if you can solve it, and then so hit pause and then hit play when you're done, see if we get the same answer. Okay, so first thing I would do is I would distribute. So you get 3 minus 6x equals 3 minus 5x. And then I would move my variables to one side. Negative 5 is bigger than negative 6, so I'm actually going to add 6x to the right. So get 3 equals 3 plus x. Negative 5 plus 6 is 1, so just x. And then I'm just going to subtract 3. 0 equals x. Okay? And there you go. There's solving equations with variables on both sides.